Okay, this is me from JBoysOC. This is Jonathan, and I'm just going to show you something that is on my site I'd like you to know. So here I am in my Google Chrome web browser. I have it open. My site is optimized for all browsers, except for some mobile phone devices. It might not be most optimized, but it will work on all browsers. So let me just type in here my site. Okay, and hit enter. Okay, so let's pull up my site here. You can see my blog. You can see it's loading here. Scroll down. You can see it here. You can see my different pages. Legally change your website. Great, you should check them out. And should have contact here. But and anyways, I just want to show you the first Linux page here. Sorry about this. Clicked on something. Okay. Sorry about that. I clicked on something. Okay. So here I am at my Linux page. It is WordPress. It might be in the description. I'm hoping it should be in the description. And it is jboysoc.com/WordPress/? P equals 299. Okay, that'll be in the description, or you can just navigate over to my website, which is jboysoc.com. And if you do it recently, you might see it might be the first one. You might scroll through it, or you might go to the sidebar and click Terminal 101, and then scroll through that, or you can search it. And what is Linux? So I just want to show you this here. And I'm sorry if you're watching this if you already know what my website is, and this is sort of a waste of time at the beginning, but this last part won't be, especially if you're not a good reader. And so I just want to show you, or more likely read to you, / tell you what is Linux, as it says right here. What is Linux? Okay. So it says, what is Linux? And that is what I am going to tell you. So first, I'll just go through here, and I don't want to read it all to you, because that would be too long. So I'll go through and I'll give you the gist of it. This is more of a video. I would recommend you heading over to jboysoc.com/WordPress and reading this, because this is really good content here. It tells you everything you need to know. If you look at the other terminal lessons, I'll just navigate over here right now. Okay, so right now what is Linux is at the top at this point because it's new, but it's newly WordPress. And if you just want my terminal, if you do jboysoc.com/WordPress/?can=4, that'll also be in the description. Bring you right to Terminal 101. And by the way, if any of the ones in the description, just never mind. Okay, so here it is. So it's what is Linux is at the top. I keep scrolling down. There's the next one, which is how to use PWD. And if you notice, I start to teach you all these commands here. These are really good commands to use in your terminal. As I am pulling, sorry about AdWords showing up here. I'll just... Okay, sorry about if you went out, but this is... Excuse me, this is your terminal window, okay? So, terminal and bash, and so you can do like, let's see, ls, just to show you. I can do pwd, just showing you this is the terminal. CCW, desktop. I show you a lot more than really what I'm doing here. These are just some simple commands just to show you that it is terminal, if you're questioning me. And so anyways, I'll teach you all about how to use that. So here's archiving errors using Unix. I talk about Unixes, how it runs in terminal, and nano and bash. That's all these other great stuff. So I'd recommend going and check it out. So let's head back over here to what is Linux. So the big question is, what is Linux? Now, to first start out telling you what is Linux. I'm going to start out with easier and get more and more advanced. So Linux is a Unix-like operating system, okay? Now what that means is it is very similar to Unix, and by very similar, I mean, there's this one picture I don't know where it is, but I'd like to show you, but it shows how Unix has advanced and evolved over the years. But Linux is on there, but it's off to the side, not connected, and the reason for that is it's a Unix-like. Mac OS 10 is a Unix operating, line or whatever, is a Unix running operating system, and that's how the terminal is. This is basically Unix here. But when you go to something like Linux, it is the terminal in some sorts, or it is Unix. It's replacing Unix, except it has a GUI and the desktop, and the GUI is graphic user interface. And I'll talk about that down there. So anyways, it's a Unix-like operating system that's open source. And open sources, if you don't know, is where you can see the listing of all the code, if you will, all the code, if you will. See, I'm sort of picking and choosing different things here from the paragraph. So you can get more into this here, and head over. And what open source is it's something where anyone can change it, make it better, make their own distributions. And as I talk about here, open source a little more, a distribution is a different part of the OS itself. Like Linux has many distributions, and it is categorized in version. And I get really into that over here, so if you just read that, you can learn all about it. Head over, it's the second to last paragraph, talks about it. And yeah, so like Unix, Linux is composed of 3 parts, as I talk about here, in this paragraph, in this paragraph, in this paragraph. The first one is all about the kernel, which is the first layer, and by first layer, I mean there are 3 layers, and sorry, I'm trying to draw a little image here, but there's like a circle, and then there's a layer around that, and a layer around that is basically the pictures they show. And that's sort of what it is, but the kernel is the center. And if I just show you my desktop hot corner, chose wrong corner. I have this desktop picture, which is Unix at every core. And if you don't, and by that, it is the Unix is like the kernel of the Mac OS. More like the kernel is of, more like there's a kernel of the, Linux. It's not Unix, just telling you that. It is a Unix-like, so it has its own kernel. Mac has Unix, which has its kernel. And then in the second paragraph here, I talk about the shell. It's more about it, just come over and read it. It's all free. Just by the way, this is all free content. There's no, payment any point in time. And so the shell is the second layer, and that is your interface where you can type in. This is the shell. See, as I'm pulling on my terminal, so I have like CD. It's going to give me an error here, but it is where I can type in stuff. So if I type in ls, or if I type in think, which I tell you about another one, and list, I tell you all about this in another one. So I'd recommend going to my site, and it loads all your packages to download. And okay, and here you go. So that this is the shell. It's where the computer outputs stuff and you put input stuff. And then in this paragraph, I tell you about the GUIs and the tools and apps, and why I chose not to just talk about tools and apps, since that's a layer, and I threw in GUI. I threw in GUI because the GUI, the graphic user interface, is in Linux very important, just as much important as tools and apps. As way as when in my Unix blog, I talked about tools and apps about Mac OS 10 running as the tools and apps. I talked about the GUI running as tools and apps. So more about that, just read this paragraph right here. It's actually pretty short. I like to contact. In my blogs, I try to keep stuff short and sweet so it doesn't waste all your time. But at the same time, I don't leave out any valuable information. I throw as much content as I can and as little as I can. you can see there's tons of content here because I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs, and I like to jam pack each paragraph full of great stuff. And all my paragraphs are all jam packed full. So then in the conclusion, I just sum up everything, and yeah. So this is just explaining what is Linux. Just go to my website, you get a whole lot more information. And if you want to, you can go over to the terminal. Both links will be in here. Terminal 101 is the one that ends in cat, and there will be probably anchor text of Terminal 101 in the description. And here it is. So sorry if my computer's lagging here. If I scroll down, let's see, what is Nano? Where was that? Here, no, jeez, sorry. And so I like to jam pack full each one of these. Here's what is Bash. It is the language. I'll probably have a video on that. I'll probably have a video on what is Nano. Probably have a video. I'm not on those ones, but you can read them. These are like your little lessons. I might start have a load of video lessons. Here's my Linux, and if I go back a thing here, go back a page to the previous page, and you can all check this out too. I'll probably do a video on how to use Fink, as I was talking about earlier. What is Fink and all that stuff. Great contents here for you to check out. And here's my paragraph on what is Unix. And I'd recommend reading this if you were to read the Linux one, because they're very similar in their way. Unix, I'd recommend reading both of these ones. So this is Jonathan from jblazeoc.com. You can email me down here at onemac1man@gmail.com, or if you go to my website and you don't want to email me, just drop a comment. I love these comments. They'll help me know, and they'll help me advance and make sure my content's great for you. And if you have any questions, just comment or email me. I have the RSS feeds you can subscribe to. You can go to my Twitter. You can go to my Facebook. I will be putting up a contact me page here. So in the near future, you can see that. It might even be up right now by the time this video is posted. I would really recommend if you were to log in, or it wouldn't say log in, but it would, log in, click the login, or click the register to register. I'd really recommend registering it, and that way you can log in and do whatever. And if you log in, you can post your own little blog post if you really want to. It could be a good source of backlinks. And yeah, so this is One Act One Man, Jonathan Wakeman, and JBoysOC. This is from jboysoc.com. That's jboysoc.com. Okay, you don't need the /WordPress. That just appears because of my file management. It's not that good. But if you delete that, it's the same site. It's just when you navigate off of this, it puts it in there for the next page. But it's the same site, jboysoc.com, as jboysoc/wordpress.com. So be sure to check it out. Be sure to check out my Twitter and my Facebook. You can always befriend me on Facebook. Send me a request. Send me, hey, I saw your video, and hey, so I saw your video, I want to know about you. I'll probably contact you back, as you see here. And if I go over here, you can go to Twitter. Go to my One Act Man Twitter. I'm always tweeting. As you can see here, I have tons and tons and tons of tweets. I have tweeted 3,282 times, and I will, if you do follow me, I'm not following that much people, but I'd like to follow more people, but I don't want to just follow any random fake user. So if you do follow me, just send me, mention me and say, hey One Act One Man, I saw your video on Linux, and I really want to know more about you. Please contact back, or whatever. Just mention the video, or mention that you want to contact me, and I'll be sure to follow you. You can follow me, and then you can direct message back and forth, And you can also friend me on Facebook. And you can go to many other my websites. I post